Right now, Nikki and I are preparing for one of the most important tasks that we'll do this entire week.
Well, first we have the podcast, but then we're heading over to our Facebook pages, which you can follow at RadioU or RadioU Riot, and we're doing an after show where we just talk with you guys, eat some food. We got some peeps to eat. We got the new Mountain Dew, so you'll have a chance to go. Well, yeah, we have the Reese's eggs.
Don't you want some?
I don't like those as much.
So
I don't
good.
know. I mean,
you know what? Like, this is just.
You can just take that home if you want, or we can eat it during the
home.
thing.
We'll eat. This is gone.
This will be gone. So we're doing that now, but obviously you guys can check that out anytime you want to. It'll stay up on our Facebook pages and then our RadioU Riot YouTube channel too.
All right. Well, today in the podcast, before we, of course, move on to the other things, what are we talking today? I have essentially a mental breakdown about carpet cleaning.
Well, you kind of do. I've heard worst breakdowns before, but you can hear the seriousness of the being offended by it.
There was something about it last night. You'll hear it in the podcast, but let me tell you what, that's not a put on. That's real.
That is totally real, and you can tell.
Like, I can't take it anymore. I can't.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh, my gosh.
And you get to hear it.
Yeah. We talk about the new PlayStation controllers. They released some photos of those yesterday. Looks kind of cool. Nikki and I drink Diet Dr. Pepper.
Just for funsies. It's the cream soda one. So it's that new one.
We talk about, I read an article about an old James Bond movie. We talked the 10 Commandments. Oklahoma State, the Major League Baseball Association of Players and Peoples and the Baseballs.
For the 10 Commandments, what's the thing that we used to always use as a liner? Bow. It was a bow.
And bow to his will.
It was always Obi's liner. It was like bow down before him or something. So you can hear that in the movie.
Yeah. Let's see. We talk about the Movie Pass Screen Pass, the KFC popcorn chicken, more on food delivery, which Nikki is continuing to champion quietly from the back. Just as long as nobody knows.
Well, I want to be embarrassed, but I do love it.
And the #1 movie in America.
I want someone to tell me that they are also having food delivered several times a week. I just want someone else to be like, yeah, I'm doing it too. Because then.
Are you out there?
Is there anyone else? Just so that, when you're in groups, you don't feel like you're doing wrong or bad.
There's also something about how the UFC is trying to create Mortal Kombat.
That's my favorite of the whole morning.
Mine might be, aside from the carpet cleaning, couple spreading might be one of my favorite things. I just love how we're always inventing new ways to be mad at each other.
And this one has a term.
We always are. That's one of our gifts here in modern America.
Even if there's no virus thing going around, it was just normal day, there would still be something we could do.
Yeah, and I'm just glad to see that we're still at it.
It's the American way.
It gives me hope for the future.
It does, doesn't it? So you can check out RadioU and RadioU Riot on Facebook. Don't forget to follow us there for both pages. And if you want to text us, you're welcome to. Say hello, that you're a podcast listener, and tell us your name. You can text 877-2-RADIO-U, and we'll see it.
All right. Anything else?
Have a fantastic, wonderful day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
I may be like right now in the middle of a breakdown. It's just happening in slow motion. So if something happens today.
Well, you know how the days are blending together. Maybe the breakdowns are blending together. You just don't notice it at first.
Because last night I was watching TV because I don't watch the news, but I will tell you that in the middle of everything that's happening, I have been watching the news, try to make sure we don't cover a lot of the more intricate details here on the show, but I'm just trying to make sure that I'm aware of them.
Yeah.
Mostly so I don't make the wrong joke at the wrong time, but you just
want to have a little bit more knowledge of what's going on in this current time.
I need to kind of know what's going on. And so in the middle of all this last night, there was a commercial for a carpet cleaning company. And they were like, we want you to know in these hard times. And I was like, that's it.
Is that too much?
I can't take any more. I cannot take any more. the fact that we're now advertising our carpet cleaning services
as
and
essential.
our tone is during these difficult times. And it's like, what? During these difficult times when you're locked in your house, please invite a stranger in that probably doesn't have whatever this virus is so they can clean your carpets. Because if you're going to be locked inside, the last thing you want is to look at that stain from a few weeks ago.
Were they actively promoting that they were still open, or were they just saying, like, here, and then you can schedule later or something?
Then I found, well, you don't understand. Like, I couldn't get past that first line.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I lost my mind as soon as the man was on TV steaming a carpet, and he said, during these difficult times, I don't know if I blacked out. I don't know what happened, but something happened.
Sure.
And I woke up later still angry about it.
Was that from like this morning when you just woke up, or still fresh on the mind?
I don't know. I've logged in and I've got a side ad here, bumper ad that's like, in these trying times. And I'm like, I swear to you, the next person that tries to sell me something
By saying that?
by telling me about these trying times, I'm going to lose maybe I've already lost it.
Yeah.
I actually
this
have
is what
already
it looks
lost
like.
it.
This is what it looks like.
This is it.
Hey, just, take a step back and realize that you might see that, because that is unfortunately a tactic of a lot of places.
During these trying times, you're going to hear about these trying times. Shut up! Shut up!
I just want to be the narrator of, like, looking back at your life, and that's the moment we lost Obadiah, where he just couldn't handle it anymore, and he never was the same.
Dude, I can't take it. I can't take any more of it. I get it. Like, life is tough, but please don't try to sell me carpet cleaning with a sensitive, caring tone. You don't care.
Hey, let's take a breath. Do you want some of you want some soda from the fridge? Is that what you want?
No, Nikki, I want some intellectual honesty.
You want some cream soda?
That's what I want. I want them to just say, we have to continue to advertise because we need to continue to work. We'd like to clean your carpets. And I'd be like, yes.
Yes, come on in.
This is fine. Don't act like you care about me as a person in these trying times.
Hey,
Please don't.
If you spill soda on our studio carpet, it's black. It won't show any of the stains. It's fine.
You know what? If I
just pour it on out over there.
Here's the thing, Nikki. If I do spill anything, I know someone that could come and clean the carpets for us
during these
trying times.
Which is now we've gone full circle.
That's right. If only I could find a place that could clean my carpet in these trying times.
I wonder if they could come in. I don't know about that. Maybe they're just saying, yes, you'll be inside. You'll notice your stains. So just call us and get us ready for when we can come in.
Taking appointments now.
Yes, that probably was that.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Man, did you guys get a look at that hot new controller yesterday? The Dual Sense.
Which one?
Forget about Dual Shock. All right, that's so 1990s and or 2019.
So it's a Dual Sense?
The PlayStation 5 Dual Sense controller.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Nikki.
How's it look? Actually, it looks pretty good.
It looks nice. I felt like some of the reactions I saw
looks
online
like
yesterday were perhaps a bit stronger than it deserved. It looks like let's say you were friends with the PlayStation 4 controller in high school, and then the PlayStation 4 went off to college.
Gotta glow up.
Well, yeah, and it started spending time in the gym and all this stuff, and all of a sudden you see him again, and you're like, whoa, your neck is huge.
You look good. What'd you do?
So that's what this looks like.
Looks good.
It went off to college and came back after freshman year, and you're like, man, you've been lifting or what? Bro, do you even?
Looks richer.
Yeah.
Made some money.
And that's another way to look at it, too. So they hope that it looks richer so they can sell you this at a premium price, no doubt.
They want to make sure that you think it's more expensive.
Yeah, that's the goal. Man, what if the PlayStation 5 really is only $400?
Are you going to
start selling plasma now?
Are you going to be tempted if it's in the 300s?
Absolutely.
Would it come with a controller, or wouldn't that be an extra charge?
No, it'll come with a controller and like nothing else.
That would be it.
Yeah.
Not even a game?
They never come with a game.
Not even a download?
Not at launch.
You sure? Don't get that would be nice, PlayStation.
Nikki, in these trying times.
I know. they could just add a game.
Wouldn't it be nice?
It'd be good.
Well, if it's going to be PS4 backwards compatible, I got a couple games sitting around.
You should be fine.
I can play some Everybody's Golf, and I'll be fine.
All right, so that's the new PlayStation controller, which you can see online for the upcoming PlayStation, which still no price details on it. Rumors, but no actual details.
And still no launch date either, though they expect it to launch sometime later this year.
If you look at it on the side, it's still just a big controller.
Well,
it looks better facing down at it.
There is an element of there's only...
You're like, whoa, it's so nice. And then you look to the side, you're like, oh, there's that side profile. We all have it. It's just not as good looking.
Whatever. I look better from the side than the front. Yeah. My profile's better than the rest of me.
If you were a controller, your side profile would be fine.
It's fine. So whatever. Like that's... I thought it was cool. I want to play it. And you know what? It's loaded with all kinds of blah, blah, blah new tech. It's got a microphone in it. It's got
better for them to hear you.
That's the reaction I saw from a lot of people. Like,
why do you need a microphone in it?
Well, the idea is so you can talk to people. You
want that out in the open? Don't you need your headphones for that?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? You can just be...
Now the government can listen everywhere.
Well, you need the headphones to make sure they really hear you and understand what you guys are saying.
Well, now your grandpa's not getting this for you. The government wants to listen to you. I ain't buying that.
I didn't know there was a microphone in there. Cover it.
You ain't bringing that into our house.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You know, in these trying times...
Just stop.
I'm never letting it go.
You're never letting that go.
Never letting it go.
If you weren't with us a few minutes ago, we saw a carpet cleaning commercial that started with that phrase, and he just can't get over that.
I can't let it go. Have you stopped to think about, I mean, perhaps you have thought about how everything that's happening, like how it's affecting you, how it's affecting your neighbors, how it's affecting, fellow students, other people in your class. You're talking to them on Zoom about how they're doing. Now, you've talked about the neighbor kids and you've talked about everybody and everything you think.
But you forgot someone.
But have you stopped to consider how this stress is affecting your parents? No. Your pets.
Your pets are saying that, these are stressful times because your pets are watching you feel so stressed and they're feeling that. But then also you're just around all the time and they don't know why.
So your pets are they're starting to also be stressed. And so have you started considering the effects of this stress on your pets?
What are we supposed to do with them?
Man.
I mean, help the situation.
Nikki, as a pet owner, have you been thinking about it?
No, but I do laugh because my one dog, Rollo, he's 3, and he looks at me sometimes when he's trying to sleep, and he's just like, will you just stop? Because we're just talking. And Rollo's just like, I'm just trying to sleep. This is my nap time because my dogs always sleep during the day.
Yeah.
The others they're younger, so they're like, this is great. Walks for days. They just love it.
So at 3, he's dog years? He's 21. So
I think so. He's slowing.
He's a senior in college, and he's just like, look, I don't need
his
all
sleep
of
is
this
most
nonsense.
Important. Yeah, I think that's where we're stressing him out because sometimes he'll just go walk back to bed and just go lay in there himself. He's just like, I'll just be here.
That sounds great to me.
They're saying to avoid being stressed with pets, you're just supposed to spend a few minutes playing with them every few hours. Just you and your pet. One-on-one time to make sure that they know they're not just always seeing you stressed only.
I want you to know this is why I don't have pets.
Is it? Is it too much?
It is, because I'm barely managing me over here. And now I've got to stop and make sure that the 4-legged animal that gets part of my income every single month to feed it and care for it and all this stuff. And now I have to be concerned about its emotional state.
Well, in the article,
when I'm barely hanging on over here.
In the article, they say that it actually is beneficiary to you
of course they'd say that.
Petting dogs helps reduce our
It'll
stress.
Release the stress.
Yeah, and then that way, you're having a few minutes of calm, and then that helps calm down the pets too. So it's beneficial to both to take those time every few hours. Walks can be helpful, but if not, just a one-on-one playtime.
Oh, okay. I see. So
The importance of social interaction in the lives of cats have been underestimated as well, so they feel it too. It's not just dogs.
So listen, I want you in these trying times to go home and stop just thinking about yourself and start thinking about ways that you could enrich the lives of your pets.
For the cat one, it's funny. They say make sure that you give them a space of their own. So then that way, you're working at home and maybe a makeshift sort of office setup. So you're working there. You could have been taking the cat spot. So you need to get like a cat tower or some sort of furniture item so that they can look at you when you're working at yours place.
Maybe you should consider giving them your bedroom and then you could just sleep on the couch.
Well, I haven't seen that in the article yet, but that might be an idea.
Well, I feel like it's in the spirit of it.
So there's some idea. Some of it is probably good. It will help reduce your stress if you take a few minutes for a breather. You might as well go spend that time with your pets.
Now, and see, this just goes to show you what a terrible person I am, because I'm like, look, if I want a breather, I don't need the pressure of making sure that Fido is okay.
You need to go make sure you're okay.
I need some deep breaths here. Besides, I got to get my carpet cleaned.
Stop bringing it up.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Okay, Nikki.
Yeah. Obi got, we had it for the food fight, but
we're dipping in.
We had it early.
In these trying times.
The new Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda. It's good. It's way more cream soda flavor than I thought.
Okay.
The Dr. Pepper gets a little lost in it. Not a bad thing.
Why is it that I feel the exact opposite way?
You do?
I was like,
there's way cream soda.
To me, I'm just like, there's a nice hint of cream soda, and it really just brings out the highlights in the Dr. Pepper.
Not me. It's just like, boom, cream soda. Now I'm drinking straight from the can, maybe. You've let yours air out a bit?
It's aired out. I put it over some ice. Diet Dr. Pepper with cream soda on the rocks.
Just a nice little, drink this morning.
I think it's delicious.
It's good.
Why is it so good? I'm not a cream soda guy, but that is, it's good.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig.
I've been trying. I moved to Sprite, a few years ago.
I am aware.
I really like Sprite Zero. And then I've been drinking a lot of, because it's medicinal, of Sprite Zero with ginger. And that's been good. Like a ginger ale sort of mix.
Right. So is it basically ginger ale, or does it have a really different?
If you were drinking it and you were blindfolded, you're like, I think this is kind of like half and half. It's Sprite and ginger ale.
So where do you get that?
It's in cans now.
Oh, it is?
I used to have it. There was one place that had it on like Freestyle.
Yeah, okay.
But for this, there was one box of cans left. Because I like Sprite Zero. You could find it in just, regular Sprite.
Oh,
but
sure.
Really wanting to cut back and just make sure, I don't need any extra things. So Sprite Zero has to be it.
Okay.
But I've been liking that too.
Sprite Zero with ginger.
Yeah, the ginger ale one. Mm-hmm. And
sounds pretty good.
Little Diet Dr. Pepper with cream soda.
Because 23 flavors just isn't enough.
You got to add another one.
You need that 24th flavor to really drive it home. It's good. It really is good.
Anything would be good right about now.
Well, to quote Nikki off air, you could combine Dr. Pepper with toilet water.
And it would be good.
You'd be like,
the Dr. Pepper really shines through with this toilet water, doesn't it?
It's not that bad.
I'm just saying it's a really good, you have a good base.
Hey, listen, the doctor can clean a lot of things up. But that's his job. He's a doctor.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, Internet, the worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, Nikki, I would like us to talk. I've got this story about Major League Baseball I want us to look at.
Yeah.
But first, I'm getting concerned.
About what?
About you.
No need to.
Are you getting stress hiccups?
I did yesterday. And you want to know what the weirdest thing was?
What?
Well, I was doing a project, and then I started hiccuping really bad. It was really stressful.
Yeah.
And I was calling Eric over because I wanted to show him the results of the project.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, come over here. And he's like, no, you got to get rid of your hiccups first. He just couldn't come around. They were really bad. So I finally got him under control. And then I went to go bring him back over and to talk about the project again. And I started hiccuping again. It is stress-induced. I wondered if that was a real thing.
I just Googled it.
Is it a thing?
It is.
It was it was painful.
Anxiety disorders or stress can cause persistent hiccups.
Yeah.
That's according to the Harvard Review.
Well, I that was the first time I felt like I could pinpoint, like I don't hiccup too often, and the windows were open because it was nice out, and I was embarrassed because I know someone walking by could be like, what's wrong with her?
Man, that woman's got the devil.
They were so loud and so painful. It wasn't a tiny hiccup. It was a big thing.
Like
for quite some time. Yes. Almost like you're either going to throw up or hyperventilate.
Hey, man, a strong hiccup can be rough.
Yes, it can.
It can be rough.
Especially when it can't go away. So I was worried, and then I just had to leave the room where my project was, and eventually they stopped.
And then when you went back to your project,
returned.
did you? No?
I have to return today to it, and I'm not going to go back until it's there. It's time.
You're going to go back to it, and all of a sudden, good.
Yes, that's what they sound like. And they hurt. They're deep. That's the ones. It's painful. So I think I had that yesterday.
Well, Nikki, it might be time for you. You might have to move on.
No, I have to keep doing the project. It's not going away. It's not going to go away. Even if there's like a medical reason for it to go away, it's not going to.
You're going to start taking. Do they have anti-hiccup medication?
I don't know.
Is that a thing? There's ways to get. One of the ways to get rid of hiccups, according to this, is a stretch method. Mm-hmm. You stand upright with your feet hip width apart. Lock one thumb in the palm of your other hand with your fingertips outstretched. Lift your chin. Look up and stretch your arms over your head. Reach for the sky. Pull your abs in.
Reach for the sky. You got to say it like that.
As if trying to let your pants fall off your hips, and breathe deeply several times.
I'll have to remember that today.
Lord,
I also will sometimes get a right eye twitch when I know that things have started to get a little anxious for me.
Oh my
So if you
gosh.
ever see my eye twitching and a long, strong hiccup, you know that Nikki's about ready to break. It's too much. It's too much.
Are you all right? What? What twitch?
But I'm still so
Why are you
embarrassed
shaking?
easily to where I was like, close the window. I can't let the neighbors hear this hiccup.
I love that. I got
I'm so
stress.
worried about that.
I got stress hiccups about my stress hiccups.
I know. It wouldn't go away. We're all fine, right? Is everybody fine? We're all doing fine.
I don't know if I've been better than this before.
I know. It's just
fine.
a lot. It's a lot for our bodies to handle, and our bodies are showing us they're mad.
You know, Nikki, if you don't face it now, you're going to have to face it later.
Well, I don't know what's next.
That's how it works.
The eye twitch, the stress hiccups. What is the next step? I am worried to find out.
I don't know.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Are you ready for some baseball?
I think that's the football song.
I know, but
I guess it works.
it is. It's
Well,
one of.
I keep seeing a bunch of memes or just people posting like they're so desperate for sports that they would even watch baseball
Hey,
if
you
it
know-
was just something back.
I will tell you right now, all jokes aside, completely serious. I've got a friend of mine who had some pretty serious anxiety issues, and baseball is one of the ways that it really helps him relax. He'll sit down and watch baseball, and the fact that baseball has not started, he's having, like, he said that he at night sometimes is
He
like
can't deal with it?
He can't sleep because he's wondering if baseball is going to come back, and he actually said to me, he's like, I know how dumb that is. I get it, but I'm struggling.
Has he mentioned, like, will watching older baseball games do the trick, or he really is just anxious about would baseball ever return?
I didn't ask him that. That's an interesting question,
Yeah,
Nikki.
because maybe he could just go and watch some classic games.
There's got to be some archives of them somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't know the answer to that, but I do know this. There's a discussion happening right now about, hey, could they bring baseball back? Because it's not a full contact sport, you know, so there's some kind of built-in distancing when it comes to baseball already. And here's the thing. This is not confirmed, whatever, but ESPN is reporting on this rumor that there are discussions in Major League Baseball about bringing the season to a single location. So you would play, everybody would play in one place, and it would be in Arizona where they have spring training.
Oh, wow.
And is it because it's hotter? More, I don't know.
I mean, there's
More
still cases of it there, but maybe just they know that they wouldn't have weather or other issues outside of being hot,
Really hot. And so the idea here is that the players would come out there, but they would have to...
It's almost like they're quarantined in their own thing.
They would have to live in isolation from each other and the surrounding area. So they would come out, stay in hotels that would be set up
for them
to basically handle them, and they would come out and become baseball robots.
That's interesting.
So they would come out, play baseball, and then when it was over, they would
go
walk
back in.
alone back to their rooms.
Wonder what they would be. I wonder how much you'd have to pay for them to be okay with that. Not only because there's a chance they could still be exposed to something from one or the other. I'm sure they would have to check everybody's temperatures and do whatever they do.
Right.
And then everybody would probably have to be tested before,
I'm sure.
and then quarantine for a bit.
I'm sure.
But then also that is that's not as fun. Don't know how else to say that besides it's just not as fun.
I don't know this to be true, but I think it is. I think a lot of these guys right now aren't getting paid.
They want to play.
They want to play, and there's no money in it. So I realize that for us, we're like, he makes $1 million. He blah, blah, blah. Listen, have you ever known anybody that lives below their means? They're out there, but they almost don't exist. Everybody lives to their means. So you're like, my mortgage is $200. He must own everything. And he's like, my mortgage is $200,000 a month. I have to make $1 million a month to keep my house.
Well, you're only thinking of the more well-known players. There's a lot of players on a team that don't make that same amount of money. And there's also just a lot of people in the club that don't make that much money and still work for the team, so then there'd be no fans.
Major League Baseball did comment on, no fans, I'm sorry. They did comment, they're like, we're looking at a lot of options, but they've made no commitments or plans.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure the NFL is as well, because that they're worried about.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So we were just talking about some rumored plans that ESPN was reporting on about how to bring back Major League Baseball and still have a season this year.
Yeah, some way, shape, or form.
And another item that has kind of caused a stir in the world of sports yesterday is Mike Gundy, who is the Oklahoma State college football coach. So that guy. He is, by the way, the most highly paid employee of the state of Oklahoma.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He makes more money than any other
else?
State employee in Oklahoma. He makes $5 million a year.
Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, remember what we said, Nikki, economy of scale. So he needs that $5 million to pay for his many, many mansions.
I'm sure it's a different life, and I'm sure he works hard for that.
So he says that he wants practice to start in May.
Ooh, for college football?
He says that he can bring the athletes back, and he believes that they can get them sequestered in such a way.
So it's not like they'd have any classes or anything.
No, this would just be for training.
For training for college football.
And I mean, of course, I don't know what Oklahoma State is currently doing for classes, but they'll probably continue any online learning that they're doing right now.
So for college football, when do you think they normally start training?
Right
about that time?
We're coming up on it. Yeah, if not already.
I feel like it's still a little too soon, but it depends on your area and how they could actually sequester them and if they're willing to do it. I mean, we just talked about Major League Baseball where they're getting paid a ton. Right. Now you're moving into college football where that's ushering in a potential career that they want to obviously be playing, but they're not getting paid. And
they're working on, basically they get scholarships.
Yeah.
That's really just about all that you end up with. But
then it's hard because if a lot of people are getting a scholarship to their online learning, it's going to be a different setup.
The idea of risking their lives so that we can have football, he says that it's an economic necessity. We got to get these players. Well, yeah. He's like, we got to get these players back for the school and for the state because it's a big revenue stream. And I don't know the guy. I don't know. But there's part of me that's like, Are we talking about...
I'm sure he's not meaning to make it feel like, it's more important than the player's health. I don't think so. But
he thinks that we can have both.
I'm sure that the players do want to play too.
I'm sure there are many of them that absolutely do.
Yeah. What a tough thing to have to figure out.
Yeah. I saw yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was. Maybe it was a couple days ago. Ryan Day, the coach of Ohio State, the other OSU, he said that he felt like for safety purposes, I don't want to misquote him, but I think he was saying mid-June was when he was basically like, hey, if you can't practice by mid-June, you can't play in August.
Yeah, that's
because
a good
his
point.
idea was it's not just a matter of, being at your best, but it's being in the kind of physical condition that can handle the rigors of weekly football games.
Sure.
Because that is not an easy sport to play.
Can we move college football back a couple weekends? It's like, do you just start a little bit later?
I'm not against it.
So there's options. Maybe they don't get the break weeks or something.
We don't know yet. But, the good news is that Nikki and I continue to be here.
For your sports needs.
For your sports needs.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We continue to. Now, we don't make $5 million a piece. We split $5 million a year.
I don't like I like to watch college football when it goes on. That's a vital part of a lot of people's fall time.
Oh, yeah. You got to go apple picking and watch college football.
So I don't think people want to write it off right now. They want it to still be a possibility.
No, I don't want them to write it off. I still want them to have it.
You want them to try.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world. College football is not the most important thing. Neither is baseball.
But it's important to a lot of people to make it feel like things could possibly be back to normal.
But I would miss it if it was gone.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on Radio U.
Nikki, I'm reading an article right now that tells me one of the things I should be doing in my lockdown, whatever this is, lifestyle.
Yeah.
Is I should go back and watch what they say is one of the most unique James Bond movies of all time.
Where are you getting this from? Because I didn't get this.
Okay. We live in different worlds.
We do. We get different articles pushed at us.
But they're talking about a movie that happened in the late 60s called On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Why are they saying you should watch that?
It features a guy named George Lazenby, who was only Bond for one movie. He was the guy that was Bond after Sean Connery, and then Sean Connery came back to do Bond in the early 70s, I think it was. So he does one movie, and they say that this is actually the Daniel Craig prototype, because in this movie, he gets married. Like, he falls in love with one woman, marries her, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
They had a Bond like that?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I know the idea of James Bond being... in love and faithful to one woman seems impossible.
Really seems against the franchise, doesn't it?
Right. And what I love is in the Daniel Craig movies, they're like, yeah, he does that. I'm like, oh, she's dead. She's dead. He's like,
it doesn't
she's
work
dead.
out, yeah.
So
they're not saying, like, have a James Bond movie marathon and watch all of them. They're saying if you have the time, you should make sure you watch this as like a classic movie.
They say this is like a weird old school one-off.
Well, you should.
I've never seen it.
You're into
I've seen
classic movies.
I am. I've seen every James Bond movie, but I've never seen this one.
You haven't seen the good one.
Well, you know what? I have a tendency to do this with film franchises, TV shows, or whatever. I'll watch a show all the way up to like its last 2 or 3 episodes and just not watch it. Like, guys, I can't finish things I start. All right? I'm going to counseling. We're going to talk about it. Why can't I finish
He'll work
the things
on it.
that
He
I
promises.
Start? Yeah. So I'm going to journal about it.
That's
we'll think about it.
So it's from 1969.
Yeah. And I have been watching, I do like old movies. The other thing I want to watch this week is everybody's going to roll their eyes, and you just go ahead. All right? I want to watch the 10 Commandments this week.
Oh, that's an Easter thing. I don't think that's weird.
I mean, we call it's a Passover thing, really.
Sure.
But yeah, you're right. It is an Easter thing. It was on ABC, I think Saturday night or something like that. But, you know,
I could
Nikki,
totally see you watching that.
It's great. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
You have the...
Have you seen it?
Well, I've seen it before, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah,
just-
I've got the Blu-ray restoration of it.
Sure.
Gorgeous. They just...
Oh,
the
you're funny.
restoration is unbelievable.
Don't you feel it's a long movie?
It is.
It's a very, like, isn't there still an intermission on one of those?
Yes. You have to switch discs.
On Blu-rays, which
Hey.
I've never thought of.
What are you doing that's so much better?
I don't know. It's just
Nothing.
a lot.
Nothing.
That might be too much.
Nothing.
Maybe not.
You got nothing.
So that's another option this week.
Yep. Just throwing it out there.
Just a little classic movie marathon.
I have stood in the burning light of God's own presence.
Actually, how I've decided what I'll watch is purely based on, like, are those available for streaming somewhere for free? Okay. I don't want to pay any money for anything during this quarantine.
Well, and you can't get it delivered, so...
Well, I can just later in April.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that if you want it now and it's not streaming somewhere.
I have had a real problem with Amazon deciding that most of the things that I want to buy are not anywhere near essential.
You're not essential?
I'm not even. Well, they do better, though. They'll still send it faster than you think. But that initial, like, month from now thing they tell you has been quite interesting. But you can just buy the digital copy of it. You don't have to wait.
Now, if only we could loan each other our digital copies. Oh, wait, I've got details on how you might be able to do that.
Great. Way to segue into that.
I actually do.
Okay.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Before Disney Plus, but after Ultraviolet, there was Movies Anywhere.
There still is Movies Anywhere.
I know, but that is a Disney-backed service that they got a bunch of other people to sign on board with. And the idea is if you buy a movie, you get a digital copy that registers with Movies Anywhere. Something I didn't know is that if you go to Movies Anywhere, you'll find that it is not, while you can stream movies from it, you can't buy movies from Movies Anywhere.
No, it was just combining, like your Amazon and your iTunes and wherever else you might buy something. It would combine them into one app so you could watch them there. It didn't mean it was all. It's not all movies, but the ones that they worked with.
Right. And so if you want to, let's say, buy a movie on Movies Anywhere, it actually lists out where it's available and what it costs. So and I think this is fantastic, there is a beta happening right now that is now open. It's been a closed beta, but now it's open. It's called Screen Pass. And so here's the idea. You will be able to loan out 3 movies a month to friends and family. You loan it to them, and it's almost like a rental. They have access to it for 14 days. Once they start it, they have 72 hours to watch it.
That is similar, yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes back to your library.
So you can do three a month, but it has to be a movie that you bought, I assume? So it's not like if you rented a movie.
Yeah, no. It's something that you own. But I could loan it to you. So, like, let's say, for example, I just bought Knives Out. I didn't, but what if I had?
Sure.
I noticed it was on sale today.
And you were like, I love this so much. You must watch it. You can share it.
Yeah. So then I would be able to, Nikki, since you and I are friends and family. I could
According to a lot of our app services. He's my brother.
Pass it to you, and then you could watch it without having to pay to rent it or buy it.
I feel like I should be more excited about this, but for some reason, whenever I have a rental and I want to watch it,
you never watch it.
I don't always watch it when I should.
I've definitely done that.
Like, I've gone a full 30 days of getting a rental, and I still don't watch the thing. And this is giving you 14 days.
I feel like doing sometimes iTunes, well, they do all the time, but they'll have like these 99-cent rentals. And I'll see something where I'm like, oh, I would like to watch that. And I think one time that you watched it or that you missed it? No, that I actually watched it. Every other time that I've done the 99-cent rental, I've never watched it.
So I am excited about this feature. That seems nice, but I don't know why I can't always get in gear when it comes to a rental.
It's just one of those things.
Or even just watching a movie. It's so long.
Well, you have to break it up sometimes.
I just can't.
I get it.
Rather just watch something shorter that night. Well, and a lot of that.
I mean, I'm still on YouTube. You're on TikTok.
I know. I don't even know. And I'm not moving to the other thing. The little 10-minute thing that launched. Quibi. I'm not moving to that.
That did not do well this week.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Did they release some numbers?
What? Yes.
They're trying to get you on like a 90-day trial.
Yeah. So, and that 90-day trial's free, right?
It is, yeah. Okay. But I'm not doing that.
Well, the numbers for it have not been great. At least that's what I've been hearing. So
if you use many Movies Anywhere, this will be
you have to opt into the Screen Pass beta.
You can find it in the settings.
Yeah, and then you also have your friend has to do that as well. So there's an option for you.
Joke's there. We don't have many friends. Gotta have someone to pass the movie to, don't ya?
Yeah. No, the problem is I'm the kind of person where I'll be like, no, I think I'll just buy it.
Yeah, you just buy it on your own.
That's really stupid. Yep. You said it, man.
That's how we work.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
One of my concerns is that many of you will think that Nikki doesn't have standards. And
What does that mean?
well, because, you've been talking about all the door dashing and the fast food delivery that you've been doing.
Hey, I'm not the only one. I know there's a lot of people doing that.
See what you're doing there.
I'm making it a group, okay? It's not just me. It's a bunch of us.
I see what you're doing, Nikki.
We're all
I do.
doing it.
So just stop.
I see all the cars driving all the food around.
So, okay. But I heard right here in the studio, off air, of course, one of Nikki's standards came flying out, and that is one fast food establishment is offering free delivery if you buy a certain amount of food.
Sure.
Whereas another one is making you pay $3.99 no matter how much you order.
Well, it depends on, because I usually use DoorDash or Uber Eats. And one, like Uber's been offering a lot of coupons and stuff, like a lot of, like a $10 off.
Gotta get them coops.
Well, they know a lot of people are delivering food right now. So a lot of times do that. But then they're trying to really push, it should be free delivery for local restaurants. And so when I think about that, I was like, oh, okay, all restaurants local to my area.
Right.
But that's not the case because some are national restaurants and they're not doing it. So I've learned like who's doing free delivery and who's not. So you pick those.
And it certainly seems to be factoring in. So the idea would be, okay, let's say I do a free delivery with whatever company. So the delivery is free, but I need to tip the driver?
You pay, and I believe you pay just a tiny, it feels like more than if I were to just eat there. I don't know. I've never done the math, but you're paying, and then you have the delivery fee, and then you have to tip the driver.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And how much you tipping?
Usually about $5 or $6 or $7, depending on what you're getting.
That seems like a lot.
Well, not when they give a little pre-thing, like it's already set up. So you're like, here's the percentage. And I never want to do the lowest one, and I don't want to do the highest one, so I pick in the middle.
So I must have been doing this wrong my whole life. Like I tip my pizza driver usually $3 or $4.
Well, what's the order, though?
It's just a pizza.
Just a pizza?
One
That's good.
pizza.
That's fine. I mean, maybe 4, or you should be doing 5.
You don't think it's enough?
I have been trying to tip more during these times.
These trying times?
No, just because, it's nicer.
I totally...
And you're supposed to, and it's a good thing to do. And what's one more dollar? So I try to do that.
Nikki, one more dollar, and you're ordering in, 2-3 times a day.
I'm not doing it that much.
I mean, that starts to add up.
I've cut back from the weekend as it's Wednesday. I haven't ordered. I tend to try to save my ordering in till the weekends.
It's good. It's good. No, I was curious about that because I have seen free delivery, and I'm like, okay, now wait a minute. You don't actually mean free delivery.
No.
You mean there's like a charge that we made up that we're not going to charge you now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they take that away for some, and that's why it depends on who you're going to go with delivering and what extras might be there.
Well, I still haven't gotten outside of just ordering
pizza delivery.
Pizza is all that I ever have delivered.
Once you do, there's no way. Come on, try it.
No, Nikki, because of what you just said. I know the truth. And the truth that, no, I'm telling you.
He's so nice. They just leave it at the door. They don't even ring the bell most of the times. Just there it is. You go out and get it.
No, I can't.
You pay through the nose. I mean, it's a great time.
No, I can't.
It's a great time for food delivery.
I can't. But you know what? I'm glad you are, and I'm glad that you're out there. And as I said, that you have standards.
Yeah,
there are times when you're like, you know what? I'm not paying for that.
No, I actually will pick a place that has free delivery, and that's my way to justify what I'm doing. So, and then I can tip a little extra. Do you want to talk about KFC in a few minutes, too? Because it's not...
Are they delivering?
I don't know if they're delivering this item, because they said you're supposed to really check to make sure before you go through the drive-thru if they have this much, but maybe you could always see.
Nikki, I'm going to go get another can of this Diet Dr. Pepper, and I'll sit back and let you tell me...
About it?
What KFC has going on.
Why don't we talk food?
And then you can give me your referral code, because that's obviously where this is headed.
I could... I could.
Shut up.
No, I won't.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Listen, he's not just a cook. He's a colonel. And
it's an important man, right?
The job of a colonel to, by God, get things done.
And during these times, we need a little extra, don't we?
We need some leadership.
We do.
In this food brigade, Nikki.
So I guess I don't recall it, so I don't know when it was, but KFC has had this before, but they're bringing it back. So if you are interested, they are offering again nationwide their 70-piece popcorn chicken bucket.
70 pieces?
70 pieces. I don't even think I've had their popcorn chicken, so I don't know the size, like compared to a chicken nugget. But they are doing 70 pieces for $10.
Well, and okay, it's going to be a little judgmental.
Yeah.
But you ready for some real talk?
Yeah.
Looking at this photo of the KFC popcorn chicken, it looks like it's really just little balls of breading.
So will 70 feel like anything, or can we easily eat that?
70 balls of breading.
For $10.
And we'll bring your way for
I
only
like
$10.
the crunchy part of it. I don't care if there's any chicken in there. It could just be the crunchy.
Really?
Yeah, why
Don't
not?
you want some chicken?
Well, you could have some.
I want some chicken.
I have to have 70 of it. A little half and half is fine.
Well, I'm splitting it with somebody, probably, maybe. All right,
no, I mean, like you could have 70 more chicken-oriented pieces, and then maybe, or half chicken and half crunchy pieces.
Some mystery crunchies?
No, not mystery chicken, but just the crunchies. You ever go to Long John Silver's and they're like the bottom of the
what
thing?
even is that?
Well, I don't know, but
That's
it's pretty
like
good.
the stuff that they clean out at the end of the day, and they're like, yeah, just put the food on that.
They're sharing it. So if anybody's had this bucket before, they're going to start doing it again.
I've actually never, I'm with you, I've never had their popcorn chicken at KFC.
How you were honest a minute ago? Let me tell you what this makes me feel like. And some places are doing this. They have so much food that was already ordered.
Yeah,
and
they got to get rid of it.
They're trying to get ways to give you. So some places are doing these big boxes of random food things. That's because this food will go bad after a while. They had to already order it before all this stuff, but they cannot have customers except for carry out and drive through. So for some places, the numbers are down. So that's why they're doing some of this.
I did the Panda Express family feast the other day where it was like 3 entrees and 2 sides for $20, I think. And that was like my grocery shopping. I was just like,
I can eat this for days.
I can eat this for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, but each place is changing. So Panda, they announced they're only going to have certain food items. So if your item is actually a popular item, they're going to have that during this stay-at-home time. They're not going to offer just all their menu.
Look, can we be honest? The only thing I want a Panda for is orange chicken, which is just popcorn chicken in sauce.
Yes, pretty much.
That's all it is. At the end of the day, we're just going from restaurant to restaurant, eating little bits of popcorn chicken dipped in something else.
Yeah, we are. That's our whole life.
As long as we can come to terms with that, we're fine.
So as long as we can still get it, then we're fine too.
Yep.
So that's KFC. They're offering a 70-piece popcorn chicken bucket. And they say maybe check or order it online before you go.
You know what? Sure. I'll get it. I've never had it before. Might as well try it.
Yeah, there you go. It'll be good.
Great idea. I'm sure it's wonderful.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I think there's a mistake that is running around out there that is worth talking about, and that is the phrase, you ready? Keep it positive. I want to keep it positive.
That is the phrase you're talking about?
I want to keep it positive. We're going to be. There is a weird modern-day cult of positivity out there, and maybe in here. And I'm guilty of it myself. I think, you know what? I want to be positive. I want to be whatever. As if the ultimate good is positivity. The best thing you can be, no matter what, is to be positive. That sounds awful when you really think about it, right? Like, what are you doing? Well, I don't know, but I'm positive. All right.
Well, maybe that keeps people from wanting to actually talk about what's going on because they feel like they can only be positive around everybody.
You know, I'm going
to put a positive spin on it.
Yeah, let's put a positive spin on it. Can I just tell you, sometimes, now, not all the time, okay, whatever.
We can't go the other way.
Sometimes it's okay to be quote unquote real. Like, what if you're really upset? Well, I'm going to be positive. No, as Nikki said, you're just denying the fact that you're upset. You're lying to yourself and maybe even lying to others. Do you think that's helping? Like, do you think that's getting it done? See, this is one of the things that I love is that if you take time, and I mean really take some time to to talk to God. And don't be positive with God. Thanks for this food and the people that made it and the beautiful day, and I love it here. No, what if you took 5 minutes to actually talk to God? What if you had 5 minutes, you were completely quiet and you had to settle down, and then you had to talk to God about what was really going on? Because here's what I found. When I get with God, if I really take some time, eventually I have to be on, some honesty, starts to come out. Honesty is not always positivity. I'm not always like, oh, God, thanks a lot for this. Or what I want you to know is if you look at Jesus and who he is, and you look at some of the written records that we've seen about him, we see Jesus getting angry. We see Jesus crying. We see a lot of different things happening there. And I want you to know that God knows that you're a person, that you've got emotions, and you do not have to lie and join the cult of positivity. Now, am I advocating that we just run around yelling and no, I'm just telling you it is okay to feel something, to deal with it, but then also to move on. I don't think it's funny because there's the other side of it is we can lie to ourselves and be positive, or we can lie to ourselves and just lay there in our funk for years on end. I think you experience it, let it go, and move on. But you don't have to lie. You don't have to lie to me. Maybe you do. I don't know. But you don't have to lie to God. I know that. I know that Jesus knows where you really are, and you can be actually honest with him about what's going on without having to feel like you have to put on a positive speech and a positive spin. Look, if you don't have a relationship with God, you're missing out on a chance to be the real you with someone who loves the real you. Say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. Here's where I'm at. Take some time. Talk to God about where you really are today.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Guys, it's happening. We're getting so... I wasn't ready for that. Nikki is doing her Mortal Kombat dance. Do it, Nikki. Come on.
Put your hands up and basically you're just doing that.
It's happening. It's happening.
I don't know why. I just always like Mortal Kombat.
Well,
Dun, 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 dun.
it's happening, Nikki. Mortal Kombat's going to become real. And you're like, yeah, they're doing the animated movie, and it's going to be rated R, and they're going to show blood and guts and stuff, and it's going to be so awesome.
No, it's M for mortal.
Probably right. TVM.
It's mature mortal.
Whatever it is, dude. The boss of the UFC, UFC.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. They say...
I could see them being fans of Mortal Kombat.
They are looking into hosting UFC events on a private island.
Oh, so like one of them.
A private island.
What is this supposed to be? Like a competition or a giveaway or a contest?
No, he says that this private island is going to host weekly fights, and he says they'll be one of the few sports that's left going on in the global pandemic.
Ooh, so they can. Oh, so if they move the athletes to a private island that's not under a stay-at-home or something like that,
that's right,
they can have it.
So it will be UFC Island, where the world's best fighters will gather for a tournament.
But are we fighting under the rules of the island or under the rules where we're coming from?
Island rules, Nikki.
Uh-oh.
Island rules.
This does feel like Mortal Kombat.
I know. And then pretty soon they're like, yeah, and okay, there's a few trans-dimensional fighters, okay, that are coming in. And by the way, if you lose, then our realm will be plunged into 100 years of darkness.
Honestly, though, this also feels like a giveaway trip that you win from a box of White Claw or something. So, you get an island with your favorite artist.
Shut up.
But with the UFC. It feels a bit like that.
It'll have its own octagon.
And you can fight.
And you can take a beating.
It feels like that sort of contest, but that's what the UFC wants to do, actually? Or?
Oh, no, it's real.
It's real?
I mean, it's real. Yeah.
Because sometimes people just talk, you come up with ideas, but then it's not really going to work out.
They say that they are close to, this is a quote, Dana White, who is the head of the UFC, says he is close to securing a private island to host weekly fights.
And that will be televised?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He says
okay.
that they're back. They're doing fights again as of April 18th.
Really?
They say it is happening.
But just maybe not like people watching, spectators.
Well, I mean, maybe, I don't know about that, but, the cameras will be there.
That's true. It's like we're there in person.
Get yourself a pay-per-view.
Sometimes you see these things as being a problem before it happens, but if they don't want to listen, and if they just want to have a party there, their own fights, wonder what island it would be.
The island
Or can they not say?
Misfit Toys. I don't know.
Maybe they won't say.
Probably
It'll
not.
be undisclosed.
Yeah, and undisclosed, well, even better, because it doesn't exist in the realm of Earth. It exists between the realms.
Great. If you've ever seen, there's these old Mortal Kombat movies. Isn't there 2 of them?
There's 2.
They're so bad. But like it's
Well,
bad.
okay, listen.
I have a few hours I want to watch. It's that type of bad.
The first one is
Not as bad?
better.
Better.
The second one is you will watch it and it's like, did this get a theatrical release? And I looked it up and it did.
Yeah, but that's old movies. They looked that way.
No. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I have. I mean, it's bad. But so's the first one.
No. This is like this. You know what? This is a whole other discussion. We're just going to let it go. The important thing is that the UFC is out there, Nikki.
And they're coming to an island that you cannot go to because you're at home.
Right. Because
We're following the rules.
you may have to give up your citizenship in order to be there and fight for the Earth realm.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
If you're like me, one of the most exciting things about the quarantine / social distancing is that it's giving me new ways to judge people.
From an appropriate distance?
Oh, well, no, now I can judge you on your distancing.
Okay. Oh, yeah, to see how people are doing with it.
Oh, yeah. And
We've seen the stares people make at each other.
I am really enjoying it. Just judging people for this stuff. And one of those, and hey, you know what? One of the best parts about judging people is now we need new phrases to judge them with. And this phrase that may be one of my favorites I've ever heard because it's real is couple spreading.
Oh, well, can you still be together if you're quarantined together?
No, that's not it.
That's not it?
You're thinking about couple spreading as being them spreading the disease to each other.
Well,
and
yeah,
that's
like,
not.
do you have to physical distance yourself?
It's actually the physical distancing that's really bothering me, and this is what I'm judging people for. You're out on a trail. Mm-hmm. You're trying to get outside. You're trying to get some exercise, whatever. And then you come in contact with some couple spreaders. Mm-hmm. Couple spreaders are 2 people walking together that refuse to get in a single file when you come up on them on the trail.
Oh, sure. I get
And
you.
instead, man, like these 2 ladies were out yesterday. I'm out running, and there they are. And they're like she's on one side, then the lady's like kind of in the middle. So I have to run way out in the grass to get out around them. And I'm just like, man, I'm so much better than you guys because I'm distancing and you're couple spreading.
If you're at a park, it's not like the trail's going to be wide enough for you to actually get 6 feet, do you think?
The one that I'm on is.
Okay, so
I
they
would say
need to be
it's about
outside.
6 feet wide. No, what
They
we
need to
could
be in
do,
the grass.
what we could do is that if that person that is hogging the middle could just move behind the other person, and if I stayed on my side and we're both riding the line, we could stay about 6 feet apart.
You should be fine.
But instead,
So this is a new thing.
it's new to me. Jen is texting. She says couple spreaders bothered her before.
Long before.
No, I can't say that's true. Like, if you want to walk side by side on a path, fine, as long as I can get around you.
No, but I do feel this is awkward because at least everybody I know is walking around their neighborhood several times a day. And it's hard when you're just, especially on a small sidewalk, to be able to get around people if they don't move.
Yeah, well, and that's what you need to do.
Are we supposed to yell couple spread at them as you run by, or what are you supposed to do to make them realize?
I'll tell you what I do. I mean, I'm not going to get into all the details here, but I'll just throw it out at you. I was reading an article about a doctor in, I think it was Kentucky, where he ended up tackling and choking a teenage girl because she was not properly social distancing.
Yeah, but then his response was not physical distancing as well.
I know. I thought
He broke
about
his
that.
own rule.
You know, it's kind of hypocritical, and he's being charged with first-degree strangulation.
That's way worse.
Yeah.
He must have been, we're all emotional.
Well, Nikki, he's tired of couple spreading.
He is. He's tired of it all.
We're all tired.
Definitely tired.
So there's your new phrase for today, and this is a new way for you to look down on people. And isn't that what we're all looking for? A way to show how much better we are than everyone else?
Just get ready to shout at everybody who's not giving the distance that they're supposed to.
Man, we should start our own PSA campaign. Don't couple spread. What's couple spreading? Let us show you.
And they need to go to couplespread.gov. For tips on how to
not couple spread.
And make sure you have physical distancing done right.
You're hired, Nikki.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
This is amazing. Did you see the box office results from last weekend?
Well, they're technically, is there anything?
Yeah.
Is it zero or?
No.
What are they getting?
I've got box office results.
What's
right
the
here.
numbers?
This is now according to Box Office Mojo, which is typically where I go and I get the box office results. And I like you, Nikki, thought, no. There's no.
Well,
no
some of
box
the
office.
bigger movie studios are not really reporting everything since I think it was the middle of March. So it's not everybody reporting.
Okay, so not everybody's reporting. Not a lot of theaters are open. But right now, the number one movie in the United States for last weekend was a movie called Phoenix, Oregon.
What is that? It's a limited release, and it's the only thing on the whole list.
It's the only thing on the list.
Where did it play?
It made $2,903.
Well, they can actually say they were number one then.
So, and they've been out for 3 weeks.
So it's two longtime friends battle midlife crisis by opening a bowling alley pizzeria in their small hometown.
I'm not much for bowling, but I do like pizza.
Wow. I still fascinated. It was in 17 theaters. So where were those at?
I don't know.
Because for most movie theater companies are shut down. So it has to be in a state that's not under a stay-at-home sort of order, or just has to be more of an independent theater.
If you look closely, their distribution's been growing. It released March 20th in 17 theaters. Mm-hmm. And last weekend, April 3rd through the 5th, it was all the way up to 27. That's 10 more theaters.
10 more theaters. Wow.
That's something in the neighborhood of, what would you call that? 55, 60% growth?
They must be so excited. Even though, that's not a lot of money. So it's not like everybody's going to go see this movie. But they can say in limited release, they were the number one movie over this past weekend.
The number one movie in the United States.
But they don't even have any advertising going on for it to be able to say that.
You know what I'm doing right now? Let's see. Phoenix, Oregon. I found the trailer.
Mm.
There it is. Nikki, this is, it's going to be perfect. These guys opening. Okay, still scrolling. Where's the bowling alley? There it is.
The pizzeria and the bowling alley.
There's the bowling alley. It's perfect.
But if you look at box office, like the normal one, there's nothing since I think it was March 13th or something.
This is the normal one. I'm looking at the normal one.
This
is the same place. This is where I look. When
everything was set up normally, when you had movie theaters.
Nikki, this is the new normal.
This is all we get.
There's one theater.
Why aren't they counting the at-home box office rental stuff for $20? Why aren't they counting that?
I'll tell you why. Nobody wants anybody to know anything about how much money they're making or how many people are watching or whatever, because it's all a house of cards. And once the numbers start coming out,
yeah, you're right. It'll topple something.
The whole thing collapses.
It's either it'll be too good and amazing, and that'll show them why are we even doing movie theaters? And why are we even doing releases? Or it'll be embarrassingly small, and it'll make you question, why do we see movies at all?
And it'll make you, more importantly, it'll make advertisers question, why on this earth are they putting money into this?
Yeah, they want to keep that private.
So they got to keep those numbers.
Oh, remember movies? I just miss it. You can still go to movie theaters and buy, the concessions. They'll sell it to you on the street. They'll come out with it.
Some theaters.
Yeah, you can get, popcorn and candy and stuff, but...
You can also get those at, grocery stores.
You can only get movie theater popcorn at the movies. You can't do that anywhere else.
I'll drive over there and pay $10 for a handful of popcorn just so I feel like I'm getting out.
Maybe it's cheaper. I think they probably lowered the pricing.
No, it's probably more expensive because they got more expenses to cover now.
I want it in a big trash bag, not in a bucket.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
I have stood in the burning light of God's own presence.